What is up, guys? In today's video, we are putting every single weapon on BO1 Kino Der Toten into the ultimate tier list. We are ranking them from F tier all the way up to S tier. We're looking at what actually holds up in high rounds and what's a waste of points. Whatever you disagree with, let me know in the comments.
For the revival of the unfittest.
Starting things off in F tier, we have the L96A1. Bolt action sniper rifles just do not work in zombies when a horde is rushing at you. While yes, it does do a lot of damage, it is still an easy F tier. Even when you pack punch it to the L115 isolator, it just doesn't get the job done. It just doesn't give you the amount of points you need for these longer runs. Next up, we have arguably the worst gun in the game, the China Lake. It barely does damage. It does more damage to you than the zombies, takes forever to reload, and takes forever to chamber the next round. It is just a horrible gun, if you can even call it that. When you pack a punch it into the China Beach, it gives you a full reload at once, but the splash damage kills you. As you see, it causes me to go down right now. Next up is the PM63. It is a decent point builder off the wall early on, but it burns through its tiny magazine way too quickly. Upgrading it gives you the Tokyo and Rose dual wield. You shoot like a maniac, but you completely run out of ammo in 3 seconds.
I'm gonna run out of zombies! Hey zombie, what time you got there? Oh, sorry.
The Dragunov is another sniper from the box. It is a semi-auto, which makes it slightly better than the L96, but the scope zoom is terrible for training. Pack-a-punching into the D115 disassembler increases the damage, but it's still way too awkward to use when you're trapped on the stage. Next up is the M72 Law. It can clutch up if you need to blast a zombie off you or make a quick crawler, but the slow reload hurts.
Explosives make things so much easier.
When you pack-a-punch it into the M72 Anarchy, it goes fully automatic with 10 rockets. It's fun, but runs out of ammo too fast. Finally, we have the Olympia. The classic starting room double barrel. It's great for getting a quick kill on round 2, but after that, it's pretty much useless. When you turn it into the Hades, it gets incendiary rounds that set zombies on fire. It looks awesome, but the reload kills it. Alright, that wraps up the absolute worst weapons in Kino Der Toten. Let's move up to C tier, where the weapons actually start becoming usable. Starting off in the C tier, we have the Stakeout. It is a solid early game lullaby. It packs a huge punch in the first 10 rounds for clearing out a window. It just doesn't get you a lot of points. When you pack punch it into the raid, it reloads 2 shells at a time and gets a massive damage buff, but it falls off hard by the mid-round. Next up is the M14, the absolute point builder king for the starting room. It's only 500 points, you can line up easy headshots. Pack-a-punching it into the Nisha turns it fully automatic. Honestly, it's surprisingly strong, but it's mostly a point machine. Next we have the Spaz 12. This is easily one of the coolest shotguns in the game. It looks awesome and fires fast, but the damage output drops off quick. When you pack it into the Spaz 24, it makes it fully automatic and reloads the entire magazine at once. It is incredibly fun, just not a high round weapon. Next up is the FN Finale. It is great for stacking up headshots in the early teens. but being semi-auto means your trigger finger is going to get tired fast. Pack-a-punching it into the EPC WN gives you a 3-round burst and a red dot sight. It does solid damage, but it's just an average rifle. Next is the MP5K, a classic wall buy in the dressing room. It is great for mid-round panic buy if you run out of ammo during a train. Pack-a-punching it to the MP5K operative gives you a bigger magazine, but the damage falls off hard by round 20. It's a decent temporary backup, but you definitely want to swap it out for something stronger. Next up we have the HS-10. This is a pretty mediocre shotgun. It's got a weird firing delay and a low ammo capacity. But when you pack it, punch it into the typhoid area, it goes dual wield. It completely spreads up close, though you do have to be right in the zombie's face. Next up we have the Python. It packs a massive punch for the revolver. It's a one-shot kill for a long time, but the slow cylinder reload will get you trapped. When you pack punch it to the Cobra, it uses speed loaders for a way faster reload and turns into a pocket sniper. Very solid mid-tier gun. Finally in the C tier, we have the G11. This is a super unique box pull. The burst fire mechanic can trip you up when a horde is rushing at you, but the ammo pool is huge. Upgrading it to the G115 generator, it loses the burst and goes fully automatic with a low power scope. So that wraps up the C tier. Now we are moving on to B tier. These are your reliable point builders and solid mid-round guns. Starting things off in B tier, we have the Spectre. It has very little recoil. It is a point generation machine, though it feels like it takes a whole magazine to kill one zombie and has very little ammo. When you pack punch into the Phantom, it gives you a larger mag and an ACOG sight. It keeps the point multiplier high, but lacks real killing power later on. Next up we have the FAMAS. Just like the Spectre, the FAMAS shoots incredibly fast. It absolutely melts the early rounds, but turns into a total pea shooter later. When you pack punch it into the G16 GL35, it gets a red dot with a smiley face reticle and a massive fire rate. It's super fun to spray, but it burns through ammo way too fast. Next is the single CZ75. It is accurate, reliable, and honestly one of the most satisfying pistols to use on Kino. When you pack punch it to the Camality, it gets full auto capability and a huge mag boost. It's a surprisingly solid sidearm. Next up is the dual wield CZ75. It gives you double the fire rate, but you sacrifice almost all of your hip fire accuracy. When you pack punch it into the Camality and Jane, you get dual full auto pistols that destroy hordes up close, though the recoil is wild. Next is the AK-47U. It is all around a great SMG with high point potential, solid damage, and very manageable recoil. Pack punch to the AK-47 FU2, it gets a massive ammo boost and extended mags. It saves a super reliable wall buy option as the rounds get higher. Finally for the B tier is the MPL. Another cheap wall buy option, the MPL gets the job done for point building in the mid rounds, but you'll want to swap it out eventually. Pack punch to the MPL LF. This gives you a red dot sight and more ammo. It's a reliable backup gun if you run out of box ammo on the stage. And that's it for B tier. Moving on to A tier, we are looking at the heavy hitters and the strategy essentials that can easily carry your game. Starting off in A tier, we have the MP40, the king of early to mid-round point farming. The MP40 hits harder than almost any other wall gun on Kino. When you pack a punch it to the Afterburner, it gets double the ammo capacity and a higher fire rate, making it the go-to gun for stage training. Next up is the RPK. This gives you pure LMG firepower with a faster reload speed than the HK21. When pack-a-punch to the R115 Resonator, it gets a massive 125 round extended mag that shoots through hordes. Next is the M16. This is a solid burst rifle right next to the power switch on the stage. It is great for racking up easy headshots and keeping your point count high in the early round. When you pack a punch it to the Skull Crusher, it turns fully automatic and gains a brutal underbarrel grenade launcher to blast you out of tight corners combined with infinite wall ammo. Only reason it's not a ST contender is because of how much damage the underbarrel will do to you if you shoot too close to you. Next is the Galil. The Galil is a classic for a reason. It comes with a 35 round mag, clean iron sights, and very controllable recoil. You'll usually always be happy with getting this in the box. When you pack punch it to the Leamington, it gets a red dot sight and a 50 round mag. It packs great damage that holds up well into the higher rounds and will also get you a lot of points to get you set up for higher rounds. Next is the H321. It brings massive bullet reserves to the table, though the slow reload can be risky. It will get you a lot of points to get you set up for these higher rounds. When you pack punch it into the 815 oscillator, it gets a huge 150 round mag. It's a complete bullet hose for camp setups. Next is the ray gun, the classic wonder weapon. It deals massive splash damage and destroys early to mid round hordes in just a few shots. When upgraded to the Porter's X2 ray gun, it gets double the magazine size, increased damage, and the iconic red laser trails. Moving on, we have the Commando. This is easily one of the smoothest, highest performing assault rifles in the entire game, and it can get you a lot of points really fast. Pack a punch to the Predator. It gets dual mags for ultra fast reloads and stays super accurate even at full auto. Lastly, in the A tier, we have the AUG. The AUG comes in with a built-in low power scope, making it great for popping headshots at a distance. Pack a punch into the AUG 50 M3. It gets a massive damage boost, more ammo, and unlocks the mastery key underbarrel shotgun. It turned a rifle into an awesome hybrid that lets you blast close range traps and panic. So that wraps up the A tier, which means it's finally time for the S tier. These are the absolute high round gods and lifesavers of Kino Der Toten. Starting things off in S tier, we have the classic M1911. This is the starting pistol. It is completely useless past round 3, unless you hold on to it for the pack-a-punch machine. And when you do pack-a-punch it, you get the iconic Mustang and Sally. These are dual-wield explosive launchers with absolutely devastating power that can clear out any horde. Next is the Thundergun, the ultimate wonder weapon of Kino Der Toten. The Thundergun clears out an entire room of zombies with a single blast. It can get you out of very clutch situations, as you see as it got me out of that very stressful situation right there. When you pack a punch it to the Zeus cannon, it increases the clip size and total ammo. And just like its base version, it does infinite damage to any zombies that are within range. Next is the crossbow. It is a pretty weak and awkward gun to aim. Definitely not something you want to run around normally. But when you pack a punch it to the Offleton, this acts like an upgraded monkey bomb. Every shot attracts the entire horde to the bolt before exploding. True high round god tier. Finally is the ballistic knife. This is only an S tier if you are on co-op for a reason. I'll get to that later. On its own, it's just a melee replacement that lets you run quick. If you buy the Bowie knife, you can then use that, which is really good for this, because it lets you quickly kill crawlers. You can also pick up the knife that you shoot. When you pack a punch it into the Kraus defibrillator, shooting a down teammate instantly revives them across the map. This is the ultimate co-op weapon, but otherwise it's an absolute F tier. It takes about 2 knives to kill a zombie.
You see what happened to me?
So that wraps up my Kino Der Toten tier list. If you would like to see me rank all of the weapons in order, or like just their regular versions, or for puppy rounds, let me know in the comment section and I'll see you next time.